things, So I'm going to speak about attitude today, and I'll give you a story. I once remember back in the days, some years back, and I was flying from a country to another country. All right. So at the time, I was doing my a little bit of business, and I needed a job then, and also, so I met this guy and his wife on the airplane, right? And okay, so I was fortunate to be sitting around the door. Of course, there's a whole lot of space. It was an economy ticket, so there's a whole lot of space. You get a seat around the door. And this man was with his wife, actually, and she was pregnant, heavily pregnant. So I think for some reason, he just walked up to me and said to me that, oh well, do you mind helping us with your seat, because my wife is having cramps. I don't know for some reason. She's not due yet, but not anywhere close to it. She's about 7 months. But based on what we are seated on the plane, right? She can't stretch her legs so very well and all that. And the guy in front of us was just being, a bit funny. So if you can, so there was a free seat beside me as well. Okay. So I guess the person going on the flight as well didn't come for it, right? So it was empty. So I was the only one there. So it was going to be two. And I said, so actually, he asked the guy before me, the guy behind me on the other side, okay, on the other wing of the airplane, about giving up the seat. And the guy said, no, I can't do that, man. No, I really want to have, the attitude was just negative. And I was sitting on the other side, and I looked at it. I looked at the whole situation. I understand. I mean, you bought the ticket. Of course, you want to sit where you want to sit. That's true. And it belongs to you, right? But again, there's several ways to say no, in my opinion. And the two ways you want to say no to people. You could say no, no. And you could say, oh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you at this time. You better polish it. You're being constructive about it. So these older guy just said to them, well, grumpily that, well, he couldn't do that. No, he can't just do that, and blah, blah, blah. So then the man looked at me on the other side. Then, I just put up a smile. And I think that was what attracted him to me. And then he walked up to me and was like, sir, I would like to ask you, my wife is really, really in pain. We're seated back there on the B aisle, and she needs to stretch her leg. And I was thinking if you could just release your seat and all that, and so she can just manage for a couple of hours, and we'll go back to the seat. And I looked at him and I was like, okay, first of all, this woman is pregnant. Why don't I just do it? And I decided to do it, not waiting for anything. I didn't even make up my mind in trying to exchange seats later, maybe when she gets a relief from the pain and all. I did that and I left. So when we had a stopover, everyone came down and we had to just go get something in Abu Dhabi, and the restaurant. So I sat down. I was having a drink and all, and I ordered for Coca-Cola, right? And they ordered for something, and they were talking. So I could see them from the other side of the seat, looking at me, staring at me, and the wife was just, smiling all through the way. And I was like, okay, well, that's great, no problems. So we finished the whole thing, and we had a board. We got on board the plane as well, and we went back into the plane. So they obviously went back to my seat, and they sat down. So I was okay with where I was because I was fine anyway, and I sat down to the end of the airplane. So when we all got to a destination, this man walked up to me and gave me a card. He gave me his card, and we exchanged cards actually, and was like, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. And the wife looked at me and she was saying, thank you so much, thank you so much, God bless me. Never knew. And for me, it was just a minor thing, helping somebody change seats. Not even somebody, she's pregnant. They're two in one. Right? So I had to do that. And when I did that, I felt good, and I went back. But this is my point. So 2 years later, 2 years later, 2 years later, I went for an application, a job application somewhere. And guess what? The same man I met on the plane happens to be the director of the company. The same man I met on the plane, on the airplane, I gave my seat for, or to rather, you know, actually was a director of a company. I was trying to beat for it. I was beating out for a contract to help them do some stuff, in project management and all that. And guess what? There were a lot of people there. About five people were there also that applied for it because you have to apply online and you can track it, you can check it on the project. But long story short was two, three people were in there for the interview before me, before myself and my team. And after they left, I went into the room and also were all seated for the interview, right? And I just saw this man walked in. And as soon as he walked in, they were like, introduce yourself and all. I tried to introduce my name. He actually called my name from the first to the last and said, welcome, Mr. Dedria Adeshir. Wow, nice having you and all that. What brought you here? Can you tell us about yourself? And then I just went in, I began. We explained, we did our presentation, of course. And you know what? As we're stepping out of the door, he just called back and said, can you give me a minute, sir? Once we're done with this interview, about 30 minutes, and I would like to talk to you. And after the whole interview, the fifth person was interviewed. He called me into his office and his team as well and said, well, right now, right away, go give this man this contract. And bingo, that was how I won the contract. That was how my team won the contract. It's a mega one. So what am I trying to say? I don't know if that story is helping someone. Is that attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. A whole lot of people today want to be successful, but one of the success nuggets of being successful, you have to realize, no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you fast and walk and do whatever you want to do, no matter the skill you have, you got to have a good, positive attitude. You need to have a positive attitude. Listen, you know, in life, everything we do, even with our family, our immediate family, and everyone around us, people around us, friends, colleagues, and what not, right? It's about how you deal with people. It's about how you open up your heart to people. And I say this to people, if you'd agree with me, agree with me. Well, I want to believe that's based on my perception and my belief, okay? That when you know whose you are, and you truly come to accept you for who you are, you don't need to prepare or build yourself with confidence because confidence would exude you. I'll say that again. When you know whose you are and you accept yourself for who you truly are, you don't need to practice to be confident because confidence would exude you naturally and people can feel it. It's like that. So sometimes you go for interviews, you go to places, you walk with people, you're even trying to help people, and people look at you. People look at you, and your attitude already speaks a lot about you, first of all, because understand that the world looks at the outward appearance. Isn't that funny? The world looks at the outward appearance, you know. So you got to put up that smile. You got to put up that, you got to, it has to come out from the bottom of the heart, the chapel of the cathedral of your heart. You got to be natural about it. One of the reasons why a lot of people, have the wrong attitude is because they don't have the self-esteem. But you know something, you need to understand that you are who you are and accept you for who you are. Then you can move forward. When you take inventory of you, of who you are, you can understand that, well, I'm shot in this direction, then I need to grow myself and become it. You don't have to be afraid because nobody is going to kill you. But one more thing is that, listen, you may be birthing the slum, but the slum is not birthing you. Yes, you may be birthing the slum. You may come from a family, a poor family. Who cares about that? Accept you for who you are. Great people in the world today, rich people, countless people, I can count them right now today. They are people who came from nothing. They weren't born with silver spoon at all, but they were able to grow themselves to become great people. You see, and also you got to understand that attitude goes along with you being grateful as well. Some people ask for help, and when you help them, they probably ask you for a dime or $5. and you give them $1 and they look at you like, well, I just asked for $5 and you give me a dollar. What's the dollar going to do? When you are grateful, you will be grateful. The reason why a lot of people don't get a lot of things, positive things coming into their lives, okay? Because you see, what goes around come around, and this world, understand that, is ruled by divine God, right? And whatever you sow, you reap. So when a man is grateful, he will be grateful. You gotta be grateful for every single thing you have. And when you're grateful, when you don't have to practice being grateful, it has to come from the bottom of your heart. You see, so when you're grateful, you'll be grateful. And that's it. I like to use um, an example. And he healed them and told them, go to the pool and wash yourself and go show yourself to the king. And they all went there. It was an instruction. They all went to the river, they washed themselves, and what happened? They could see. But you know what? Just one of them came back and said, thank you, sir. One of them, just one out of 10, came back and said, thank you. And based on that scriptures, it means that the man had a 360-degree healing. So you see, sometimes people can even test you. Your boss can test you. Your friends can test you. Your families can test you. People can test you and see how grateful you are. So learn to be grateful. Learn to be grateful. Learn to be grateful. Because you know what? In every crisis always occurs at the curve of change. I would say crises always occur at the point of your shift. Well, the reason why you haven't had some shifts in your life or some positive shifts in your life is as a result of you not being having the right attitude. Those who have the right attitude have the right momentum towards life. The drive towards life, they move along in life and they can do great things, they do better things. Because you see, your attitude is an energy. You go into a room with a positive attitude, it's contagious. It's going to affect a whole lot of people. It's like love as well. So put up the right attitude and you're going to see a change in your life, in your business, in everything you do, even around the people around you. Some people go to places and they look at themselves and they don't even say hello. They don't even say good morning. They don't even say good afternoon. They don't even say good evening. That's just basic courtesy, for people. And you gotta be the carrier of positive attitude everywhere you go. Because when you go there, it moves. I'll use an illustration about a story I read in a book, and also one of my a mentor, and he said each time, because he travels a lot and he has a jet, a private jet, and he said each time he was traveling, he's right there in his jet and they're about to take off. Now I'm trying to remember the name of the traffic guys. I'll just use the word traffic warders or so. The guys that hold the light and direct the plane to move and all that. So he talked about this lady there that for good 8 months, each time he got into the plane, he was so excited to just look out the window and look at this lady to see if she was the one actually controlling the stuff. Now, what about her was she was always smiling. He said she was always smiling. For good 8 months going to a year, she was just putting up a smile, a beautiful smile. She just comes and says, smile, and says, that really affects me because I look forward to it. Because sometimes even some of the staff, it says sometimes some of the staffs are like, well, you know what? Hey, listen, I am going to help you. I am going to help you. I'm going to, they get him upset. And when you get on the plane, his attitude is changing. But as soon as they're about to take off and he sees that lady, it becomes very happy. And guess what he did? He said, at the end of the 10th month, his secretary, his PA actually was going to be getting out of work. She was resigning, and also she had a very, 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 negative attitude most of the time. And what happened? He said, at the end of the 10th month, they get to the airport, and he was on a plane and he was about traveling. And the next thing that happened, he saw this lady again. He had no choice than to find out the name of the lady and employ the lady as his PA. And when she came for interview, she was busy smiling again. And he said he just busted into laugh as well. And they went into the interview. Within 20 minutes, he knew he was going to employ her anyway before then, but he just wanted to hear from her. All because she smiled a lot. So you never know. You don't have to prepare for that interview. You don't have to prepare and do everything. Yeah, it's okay for you to prepare because you got to know your audience. You got to know what you're doing. Nobody wants to employ anybody who doesn't know. But at the same time, the world is driven right now by customer centric people. So your attitude is everything. Your customer walks in or whoever you interrogate. So we all have customers every day. You don't have to be in a customer service business. You don't have to be in sales business. Even at home, you recommend, you work with people, a lot of people, your friends, you're actually serving them. And this lady got the job on the platter of gold, and she was making more money than ever. Also, remember, uh, she started traveling a lot, all over. She's been to over. I've had the opportunity and grace to meet her one on one. She's had the opportunity to go to at least 36 countries in the world. Wow, imagine that. 36 countries in the world just by what? Smiling. Look at yourself wherever you are right now. I just want you to smile at yourself. Try and get a mirror. Get a mirror and look at yourself in the mirror and just smile. You can rehearse that. You can practice it. Smiling. You know, that's just something to make you smile. There's something to make you happy. I tell people, there's always something. I'll tell you why. You got to have the right attitude. There's always something to make you smile. There's something. Look at it. We all slept last night, right? And what happened? A whole lot of people, or some people, never woke up today. Are you better than them? Are we better than them? No. But we have the grace, the favor of God to be awake today, to go take a shower, look yourself in the mirror, touch up yourself, look good, do your makeup, smile. Why don't you want to smile? Because you never know, that smile you give could change somebody's world just by having the right attitude, by smiling. I've seen this happen over the years, times without number, times without time and time without number. I've seen someone walk up to me and say, you know what? Because you just say, you're looking very beautiful in that dress. That made my day. She literally told me that, listen, in the last couple of 8 months, I haven't had anyone told me that. I haven't had anyone tell me you look beautiful in your dress. And I'm like, really? You never know. But she said it herself. I've seen guys also come and say, well, man, listen, I've never had anyone appreciate me this way, talk to me like you know me. Thank you for sharing that word. Just a word. We're going to make the world better. You're going to make the environment around you better. The world right now is full of a lot of hate. It's full of a lot of depression. A lot of people are depressed not because they don't have money. I've seen wealthy men who are wealthy. I mean, wealthy men, they're still depressed. Why? Because they have nobody to play with. Yes, they have nobody to play with. Yet they have all the monies in this world. I said so. Wealthy men. What's the essence of you having money and you don't have people around you? Listen, money is a tool. Money is a tool. It's not a goal. Money is just a tool. It's not a goal. So when you have money, you can use that to affect people, not by giving people money everywhere, just being like, just being like Sanders, giving money everywhere like Sanders. No, no. You can affect life. You can touch lives. You can look for NGOs, how you can help people, how you can help make life better for other people. It's all about how many things you do. You don't have to be great to start anything. You just have to start to be great. Like Les Brown said, you don't have to be great to start. You can start to be great. And that's the only way you can grow in the level of life. That's the only way you can grow in everything you do in life. So tell me, plug in there, chat in there, and tell me about your experience. Let's have this conversation. What's your experience? What have you done before that your attitude has gotten you positively or even negatively? The things you want to look back at yourself because you want to take inventory of yourself and become a better you because I see the best in you. That's it. Put it right there in the chat, a story. You can email me at theshift.shift@gmail.com. THI, I'm sorry, THESHIFT period. That's dot SHIFT@gmail.com. Email me, put it in the chat list there. Let's talk about this. Share this video to people. Let's talk about attitude because everything. We're going to talk about this for a while and we'll see what reasons, some things, attitude, how attitude can get you from one position to the other. I've seen that happen. I've experienced that. I have people around me who've experienced that because you're not trying to pretend. You're just being your natural self. You are being your natural self. Because sometimes I've seen attitude help people in crisis. Yes, it helps people. Because you know what? Like I said earlier, crises always occurs at a curve of shift. Because you know what? Prayer ain't gonna do everything at all. Nope, nope. You can pray from now. There's a lot of things prayer is not gonna do. Yes, a lot of things prayer will not do because you don't need prayer. It's a principle of life that God Himself created. All right? Man, we are designed, we can do what we can do. Where prayer comes in is what you cannot do, that only God can do, can make happen. Take, for instance, in the house, you've got different kind of dishes in the house, right? You probably have a goosey soup, you probably have pasta and sauce. You probably have all sort of, food in the house. It's all cooked now and it's stored up in the fridge for you to just go there, only for you to go there, scoop it out and put it in the microwave. It's warm and you bring it out and eat. But you decide to sit down there and say, Lord, oh Lord, I need this food. I need to eat this food. Meanwhile, the jollof rice in the fridge, or this pasta in the fridge for you to eat, already cooked. All you just need to do is scoop it out and warm it and eat it. Man, you're going to be there. You're going to starve yourself to death. Also, you're looking for a job. You're jobless and you're looking for a job. You never sent out your resume to companies. You're not practicing. You're not reading. You're not studying. And there's something around you can go get. And you say, well, Lord, I just pray I get this job. I just pray I do this. There's no resume. There's nothing. Or even if you sent your resume, you never rehearsed or practice how the interview is going to go. You are going to fail woefully because God is not in support of those who don't help themselves. Heaven helps those who help themselves. I'll give you an example to that in the best book in the world, the Bible. It was about a child, the son, the boy that had the five loaves and two fish. He preached when Jesus Christ finished preaching, and there were about 5 million people, and he said, "These guys are hungry. What are we going to give them?" And he called Judas and was like, "Man," because he was a treasurer. It was like, "So what's going to happen?" Well, Rabbi, we have no money. We don't have money. We don't have enough money to feed all those people. Well, now looking around, to figure out that there was a boy that had 5 loaves. The boy was willing to leave it, to give it. So what do you have in your hands? Now, it takes a very strong positive attitude as well. Because when you have the right attitude, you want to help everybody. You want to share. You're selfless. You'll be selfless. When you possess the right attitude, you will be selfless. You'll be selfless because you want to make sure the people around you are better. If you are better and the people around you are not better, I bet you everybody will go down the drain. So he left it. He gave it out. And what happened? It was blessed, raised up and blessed. And what happened? That the power of multiplication came upon it. So you got to practice. You need to have the right attitude. You got to have the right attitude. Attitude is everything. And I know and I want to believe you have the right attitude because it's on the inside of you. Remember, I always say this, that your thoughts create your beliefs. Your belief of yourself creates your conviction. Your conviction creates your perception. Your perception creates your attitude. And your attitude dictates your behavior. Your thoughts create your belief. Your belief creates your conviction of yourself. I know who I am. You truly believe in yourself. You accept yourself for who you are. Your conviction of yourself creates a perception that you are the king's kid. You can go out there, you can do anything. You can do all things through God, through Christ that strengthens you. Your perception creates your attitude. Your attitude dictates, your attitude creates your behavior. Sorry, your attitude dictates your behavior. So it's your thought, belief, conviction, perception, attitude, and behavior. There's 6 keys to life. If you can sit down, analyze yourself, take inventory of yourself, you will see that there's a lot more to you on the positive than the negative. Because when you realize who you are and truly accept yourself for who you are, there's nothing, anything, anybody says about you that's going to affect you. You're just going to dust it off. You're going to dust it off. You're going to dust it off because it doesn't matter at all because you know who you are. That's the way it is. So I'm very grateful for everyone who's joined this today. Like I said, it was going to be short, and we're going to be doing this next week, Monday. We're going to meet next week, Monday again, and we're going to share this. And we are going places together. Like I said, we are going to help ourselves to remove to that level where we can have the right attitude or understand it's right there on the inside of you. You just need to activate it. You need to activate the right attitude on the inside of you. Seriously, I want you to take time to look at yourself and ask yourself, take inventory, take stocks of yourself. Because you know what? You can lie to everyone around you, but you can't lie to yourself. And the worst damage you can ever do to yourself or anyone can do to himself is to lie or try to convince himself of who he or she is not. So you truly know yourself. Because I believe in you. And the world is waiting for the expression and the manifestation of that great potential on the inside of you. Don't die with those gifts. You can save a life by just having the right attitude, by just smiling, by just saying hello, by just saying thank you. It means a lot to a lot of people. Make up your mind today to be the best of you, not the best of someone, but the best of you. Till we meet again, I see you on top. This is my story. It's not changing. Ade Adeshida. Remember, this is a shift. Your destiny depends on it. Bye for now. Thank you.